All right, so here we have a Ryobi 6 amp hour battery. The funny thing about this is that it's running two 3 amp hour cells, so running these two in parallel to get 6 amp hours. So I'm not sure how they're doing 3 amp hour cells at high power or high power output, because in my knowledge 3 amp hour cells are high energy and low power, but whatever. When I got the battery and I would hit this button, I'd get 4 flashy lights. So it just blink, 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 blink. And I finally figured out that this cell right here was low voltage. I'm charging this cell up right now. I'm up to 3.6 volts. The pack, most of the pack is at 3.7 volts or so. And now when I push the LED, I'm getting one solid LED. And also when I put the leads onto the main power outputs, I'm getting solid voltage, whereas before I would get like 4 volts less, and then as I'd hold the voltmeter on it, the voltage would just drop over time. So it was like a capacitive charge, so it wasn't really a power, it was shut off. So what I did is right here, let's see if we can zoom in, got the RST pin, and I measured between those two pins. I got 3.3 volts. I did the old short trick and nothing happened. Then I was like, let me just play with it and see what happens. And so I did a short, and then I pushed the LED button, and I then got a single blinky light saying that it was different. And so with the single blinky light telling me everything's dead, I then just charged this cell up real slow at first from, I think it was at 2 volts. And I charged it up at like 0.05 amps or something like that, something really slow. And it charged up real slow. And then once I got to about 3.6 volts, when I push the button, like I said, I get one solid light. So it seems like it's working. And when I put voltage here, or I put my probes here, I get solid volts, and it does not decay over time. So I'm actually getting power to these pins now. So the MOSFETs back here have finally opened up and letting power through. So yeah, you can revise these batteries if you know what to do. It took me a long time to figure out which cells were bad, and the way I did it was I just probed on the backs of these, and I got like 7.5 volts, 7.5 volts, 7.5 volts, and then 5 volts. But it was on this one. This is the one I have 5 volts on. And when I did that, I was like, okay, I know one of these two cells is bad, or banks is bad. So I know that's the problem. The other thing that I noticed when I took this thing apart is that a little bit of burnt going on right there. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And then, all the corrosion that these things have, just, they're not sealed. The nickel isn't that great. Don't know why nickel should be corrosion resistant, but whatever. But this battery is, what is this? Let me see here. You can pause the video. It's got the part number on the top left, and then you might need the not serial number, but whatever. I know they keep changing the BMSs on these, so you have to keep playing around. But it took me a while to figure out, where the reset pin was, because I looked at it for a while, and at first I didn't see any of that. There's some test points here, some test points over there, test points right there. They're not as obvious as the other board I was working on. The other board, it was real obvious, and I was like, well, if I was an engineer, electrical engineer, this is how I would do it. This is how I would make it to where I would make it easily initializing and configurable. But these boards are a little more difficult to figure out, at least for me. And I will give an update on how it works once I have fully charged this guy up, and then make sure the BMS is balancing everything. All right, so I need to get this thing charged up to about 3.8 volts. Right here I'm at about 3.6, and when I push the button, now I'm up to 2 bars. So it looks like everything's working properly. So that's good. I have a couple of cells that are unbalanced. They're at the high cells are 3.8, the low cells are 3.6 or so. So I need to go through and balance all the cells, and then once I do that to 3.8 volts, then I think the pack should be back to normal. We'll see. All right, playing with the Ryobi, and now as I charge it up, I get 2 solid LEDs. So it is charging up. It seems like it's working. I was getting 1 previously, and now I'm getting 2. I'm just going to go through and balance out all the cells in here up to 3.8 volts. Right now, this cell is at 3.817 or so. I think they're at 3.85, but that's the voltage as it's charging. That's not the voltage when it's sitting static, which these cells, so I'd probably go to 3.9 volts to let it get back to 3.85 or so when it's sitting static. Right now, I'm just working my way through balancing all the cells up to 3.86 volts or so. And we still have 2 LEDs in the front at approximately 38 volts, which seems about right. Maybe 39 volts is 3, and over 40 volts is 4. I don't know. Or 42 is 4. I don't know. And there you go. That battery is now charging. It was at 2. Now it's charging up to 3. So it looks like the battery has been fixed. Okay, last update on this. I just put this on my blower and put full power on it. When I did that, it worked just fine up until I put turbo on. And when I put turbo on, it clipped out. And when it clipped out, I would push the battery button, nothing would happen. And I was like, great, I blew the fuse on this. I was ready to take it apart again. But now it comes back on. So I guess it just overheated. But that kind of answers my question of, how did they get high power cells in here? They didn't. These are high capacity cells. Got to run it on lower power stuff like a weed eater, or I don't know. I think the lawnmower uses a lot of power, and that's what I use for this. And so that kind of answers the question of, can the the smaller 6 amp hour do as much as the big 6 amp hour? The answer is no. You need more cells for that. And then this guy over here is actually a 9 amp hour. This was a battery I could not fix the BMS on at the time. I might have been able to do it now with whatever I learned, but I couldn't. So what I did is I just used all of the plastic casings that the battery came with. So I desoldered everything, got the whole thing apart, put new cells in there, welded those cells together, and then I have a Chinese BMS in here, and then I have that wired to these prongs. The funny thing is, when I put this battery on my weed eater, the weed eater spins at a slower speed than when I put this battery on the weed eater, because I think I don't have the 10 kilo ohm or 20 kilo ohm or 20 kilo ohm resistor across here telling the tool that the battery's not overheating. So right now there's no resistor there, so it sees there's a fault, and it doesn't allow me to run the weed eater as fast. It's weird. I haven't figured it out, but it spins fast enough. And the other thing is, I'm using like cells from a Tesla Model S, and these cells are not power cells. They are high energy cells. They're about 3 amp hour per cell. So this is 3 cells in parallel because it's the same size as this one, but I had to add extra case or room in here for the BMS and the wiring and everything. So that's just a little 3D printed riser. But this has 3 amp hour cells in series, just like this one has 2 3 amp hour cells in series. So this is actually a 9 amp hour. There we go. Now it's 9.